is what you get, and what you don't is better yet. John R. Heinis talking the latest and greatest Hudson County news. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening here in the Mile Square City. There's always something of note, right? A couple things. So first of all, it's slightly dated at this point, but we haven't spoke about it on the air yet. So in Hudson County Superior Court, the assignment judge, that's Jeffrey Jablonski, he awarded $45,517 to a local developer over in an Oprah case. So we're going to tell you what happened there. Also in the Mile Square, we heard yesterday that petitioners submitted about 2,100 signatures for a potential Hoboken rent control referendum. Of course, that's spearheaded by the Mile Square Taxpayers Association. Some in the rent control, in the tenant advocate community are not too happy about that, but a compromise hasn't been ruled out yet, so we're going to explain to you what's going on there. Also going to talk, of course, about the 8th District congressional race. We had a forum right in my neighborhood in the Jersey City Heights on Monday, where actually all 4 candidates, the 3 Democrats and the 1 Republican, all showed up and talked about policy ideas for about 90 minutes. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop and his plan for education if he's elected governor next June. Well, I guess it would be next November, but the primary is next June. So, you know, I had my colleague Dan Uloa there, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Heinis. So let's talk about this 8th District Congressional Candidate Forum. So this was at the Krista McCullough School over on Hancock Avenue in the Jersey City Heights. So again, that was Monday evening, and you had all 4 candidates that are on the June 4th primary ballot. Of course, that's U.S. Representative Rob Menendez, Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala, and Kyle Jasey on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, not an exciting primary by any stretch, which doesn't surprise anyone familiar with Hudson County elections. We have Anthony Valdez, who has previously run for school board and town commissioner in West New York. He is the only Republican on the ballot, so therefore he is the presumptive nominee already. Of course, this is one of the bluest districts in the country, so it's not a secret to anybody watching this that it's going to be a Democrat who takes the seat. And most people think it's either Menendez or Bala. So with that fairly obvious stuff out of the way, we heard from Valdez, and during his introductory remarks, he said, "I'm not a politician, I'm just fed up and sick and tired of the nonsense in our nation's capital." So obviously that's a sentiment I think a lot of people are expressing these days. Typically not someone that's on the ballot, but nonetheless, I mean, certainly that's not the first time we've heard that. And the questions were all across the board. You know, we heard about helicopter traffic, we heard about gun control, we heard about, you know, green infrastructure, we heard a little bit about roads. You know, I would say for the most part, no stone was unturned. I mean, it was a very policy-oriented discussion, so it was a bit dry at times. But having said that, there was one that got a little interesting where we started talking about the turnpike widening. Of course, that's a $10.7 billion plan that the governor, of course, Phil Murphy, is supporting. Now, we heard from Mayor Bala, and he said, "I would do everything that Congressman Menendez said." I don't disagree with anything he said, referencing him bringing dollars back to the district and investing in federal infrastructure projects. But he said, "I'll do more. This is exactly what I'll do." That's in addition. We need to stop the New Jersey Turnpike expansion, full stop, and we need to advocate for that vigorously. He continued, "Wider lanes create more cars creates more congestion, and more congestion creates more ill health effects and environmental justice communities in Bayonne and Jersey City. Stop the New Jersey Turnpike expansion, reinvest that money into mass transit." Now, Menendez, who has previously called for a compromise on the plan, was happy to engage with his opponent on this topic. He said, "Of course, the Turnpike project we agree that we don't want in our communities," but he noted that the two-part question began with asking about federal funding, and no one else really answered it. He continued that, "I've talked about federal funding for mass transit, how we're bringing resources back. Yes, we've engaged the Turnpike Authority and said, yes, there are problems here you need to engage with the community with. We also wrote an op-ed 2 years ago about if you're going to go forward with this project, one lane has to be dedicated to the RT mass transit system." Now, JC and Valdez both said succinctly that they didn't support the project, didn't go into details, just said money could be better spent elsewhere. And Bala pressed forward and said, "Hey, the congressman didn't really answer the question." And Menendez chipped back that the project was proposed years ago. You were the mayor of Hoboken, so you had the opportunity to engage on this issue, and you didn't. "I don't like the widening that's proposed in Hoboken and Jersey City. That's a fact, but there's also challenges that Bayonne and Newark have, and they're part of the district we're all running for, so we need to listen to those stakeholders as well." I could go on, but I think you guys generally get the point. They also talked about Gaza. They also talked about corruption, which I clipped on my Twitter page, and a lot of other topics that I think you guys will find worthwhile if you're following this race closely. Don't forget that in just 6 days, the only head-to-head congressional debate in New Jersey will be held right here at Hudson Media Group, and I will be moderating, and it's going to be a head-to-head contest where we have U.S. Representative Rob Menendez and Hoboken Mayor Rami Bala, so I'm certainly looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. Now, moving on from the 8th District for a moment, a little smaller issue, but something that's still, of course, important. We're talking about this potential Hoboken rent control referendum. So, again, Mile Square Taxpayers Association, through their executive director, Ron Simoncini, came to a council meeting in March and said that this was something they were kicking around. And then last month, you remember at a council meeting, you had a emergency resolution sponsored by Councilwoman at Large Emily Jabor and 5th Ward Councilman Phil Cohen. And they were claiming that there were some inappropriate tactics to get petition signatures, and that ended up failing. But nonetheless, there hasn't been too much public discussion about it other than those 2 points that I just mentioned. And here we are, and they've submitted these about 2,100 signatures, and you need 1,342 that are needed to trigger a special election. And the clerk has 20 days to certify signatures on those petitions, folks. So Simoncini said, "We recognize the profound moment that referendum represents, and we are guided by Hoboken's recent demonstration that is conceptually interested in providing affordable housing and inequity for multifamily and condo owners, but that without citizen action, it is unlikely to occur." He also mentions a prior compromise between the landlords and the tenant advocates that was passed by the council last year did not survive a mayoral veto. Of course, that's been talked about quite extensively. That happened about 13 months ago. You saw Simoncini and Cheryl Fallick and others from the rent control and landlord community come together. The council put those changes up. It was approved by a close vote, and then the mayor vetoed it. So that's where that ended up. And I spoke to Falik as well yesterday, and she said there's been some concern. I have audio and video of their signature collectors saying this is an affordable housing petition, so I think the clerk should investigate that further, because if a lot of signature collection that was misrepresenting this, then the city should disqualify those signatures. Or she said signature collectors, just to be clear. And barring that, the city has to compromise with the MSTA committee of petitioners, not tenants. And I just don't think they should leave us out of the equation, because they could try to satisfy the MSTA. That necessitates a referendum initiated by tenants. Vacancy decontrol is a death knell for rent control as far as I'm concerned. With that, folks, going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to be sitting down with Hoboken 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Heinis, and today I'm joined with Hoboken 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher. Councilwoman, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
You too. So, let me go with this off the bat. So, obviously, we're 17 and a half months away from the mayoral race, but a lot of people say Councilman Russo's running, Councilman Ramos running, and yourself. So, how are you looking at this field right now, if at all?
I'm not. Right now I'm really focused on getting through the primary, and once we get through the primary, I'll give it some more thought. So.
All right, so to be determined?
To be determined.
Okay, fine. So let's talk about the primary. Obviously, you've been a big supporter for Congressman Menendez. You hosted that town hall that I was at last month. You were a co-host, along with many others, on Monday for this event for Rob, and you've been, pretty outspoken on social media, taking on any and all challengers, for better or for worse. So why do you think this is such an important race?
It's our congressional representative, having the right person in D.C. Working on behalf of constituents. It's a vital role for us, and I think The reason why it's become so controversial is I just feel strongly that our, Mayor Bala is not that person. One of the things when I met with Rob Menendez, several months ago, we talked about like what separates him from other congressional candidates, and he's like, most congressional Democratic candidates are going to support the Democratic platform, pro-gun control, et cetera. He said, but I am, fanatical about constituent services, and he's done that. He's so invested in every single issue, in the diversity, in the diverse, population that is the 8th District, whether it is, Hoboken and our resiliency needs, or, the Port Vessel fires and the firefighters in Newark, right? Like, it's such a diverse community, and he is laser focused, and his team is laser focused on addressing the breadth of those needs. And I just think that's what a congressperson is, and I don't feel that our mayor would be that person.
All right. Now, having said that, for the people on the other side of the coin, and, again, you've encountered quite a few of them on social, but for the people that, like, never Menendez, they say he was anointed to the seat, the people didn't get a say, his dad put him there, he should have to answer for that, because without his dad, he would never have gotten to the seat. And, certainly we see that rhetoric from the Super PAC America's Promise and from Mayor Bala's campaign. So why do you feel like that is not a fair way to evaluate this race?
I think it's two things. First of all, coming from Mayor Bala's campaign is just hypocritical, because we know that this mayor has used the same line that put Rob in his seat 2 years ago. He's used that line to install his friend John Allen to replace Annette Chaparro, in the same time frame. So once you take that out of the equation, that both of them have used the line in the past, then the question is, has Rob earned being reelected? And when you look at his track record over the last year and a half, he has done so much in his first year and a half. He has made a huge difference in the 8th District and in every municipality in the 8th District. Like, he works really hard, and he deserves being reelected, and that's my view on that.
All right. So away from the Bob Menendez stuff, at least for the moment, actually, I have one more. So you came out very early calling on Senator Menendez to resign, yet you've been a very vocal supporter of Congressman Menendez. So you think that there's no problem with separating the two?
I think separating the two is easy. They're two totally different people, and it was an easy decision to get behind Rob. I will say, as people probably know, I've started into this just not supporting our mayor because I don't think he's an honest actor. I think he is running for his own personal ambitions, and he puts those personal political interests over, residents and his constituents. So that was my starting point. But getting to know Congressman Menendez, it was very easy to pivot to being pro-Rob because of his record and what he's done, and it's just really easy to get behind him. And the separation between him and his dad is a no-brainer to me and most people that I speak with.
Very good. Okay. So Hoboken's encountered a bit of bedlam, I think you could say, in the past 2 weeks. I mean, not that it's ever calm, as you well know, but, you got this lawsuit by the former health director, Leo Pellegrini, and then you guys did the press conference calling on the AG and FBI. And, well, let's go there. So some people have said this was performative. This happens every election. You guys are just doing this to help Congressman Menendez. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so, the timing of this and our press conference really was around the timing of the lawsuit, right? And what came out after the lawsuit. And so the lawsuit was filed on May 3rd, and there was a really important Politico. You wrote an article, Jersey Journal wrote an article, and then Politico wrote this article that revealed that there was this contract given to Shank Price, which is where Mayor Bala and John Allen both work, and it was given to Shank Price, a month after Mayor Bala helped have the CRB approve the Story Dispensary for Mayor Fulop, and then a month before, John Allen did the same thing at the county level. And because this was like the missing puzzle piece in the quid pro quo, we've known for the last 2 years that Mayor Fulop had and Drew Nussbaum, who chairs his super PAC, had $1 million at stake in this dispensary. We've known that. So we've had the quid. The missing puzzle piece was having this written evidence that there was the other side of it. And we always thought it was just kind of soft political support that Robbie might get from the mayor and his political ascension. But now suddenly you realize, no, there's actually dollars and cents behind it, on the other side of the trade. So the timing really came off of you know, the start of it was the former employee, and it was really the reporting that you guys all did that brought to light this important puzzle piece that we've been kind of waiting for.
Got it. Okay. Well, we'll dive into that a little more in just a few moments. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
At the time.
Hudson County View live on Uncut. Chowder Heinis, and I'm still here with Hoboken Second Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher. All right, so your favorite topic, story dispensary. Let's, or not, but be that as it may. Now, Mayor Fulop talked about Freeman and Politico, and, you know, he said he had no financial stake in this, and he has told other reporters as well that he'd welcome law enforcement investigation because everything Story did was on the up and up. So you made it pretty clear you disagree, but anything you care to elaborate on here?
Yeah, I mean, we've been, we've been following this since it started 2 years ago, and a lot was revealed during the litigation between the condo association and all the parties around the dispensary, the property owners, which was Jacqueline Fulop and Drew Nussbaum, as well as the actual dispensary entities. And, you know, what was revealed in that was an entire kind of sham ownership structure. And all of that's been shared, you know, with the CRC, and then this most recent revelation that came out of all of your articles, the political one in particular, you know, we continued to send that to the CRC and just said enough already. Like, you have to dismiss this application, no longer solving for approving it, and you need to refer it to the AG's office. And in fact, they called me the next day and told me they referred it to the AG's office. Like, I think when you look at everything in its totality, and you look at what appears to be a lot of fraud along the way in enriching elected officials, multiple elected officials, and now you have a compromised approval process in Hoboken where light has been shed on it, it begs an investigation. I'm not suggesting that that is definitely the case, but so many of the data points, when you strew them all together, you know, point to that there's a lot of funny business here, and now the CRC seems to believe it as well, and you'll see we'll be calling on them to investigate it probably early next week, only because it takes a while to write those letters to the AG's office.
Okay. Now, if you, there's a lot to unpack here, but let's talk about this. So the Cannabis Board at Hoboken, the Planning Board, the Council, you know, obviously you were pretty vocal about this, and you still are, but with that exception, there really wasn't too many people talking about this. Like, a lot of the things we're talking about now weren't being discussed back then. You know, a couple exceptions, but for the most part, no. And, you know, it went through, and actually Pellegrini, when he was on the Cannabis Board, he had nothing but good things to say about Story. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts on that, looking back?
Yeah, I mean, I put out a lot of information, right? We put out multiple newsletters that went to thousands of people, walk every single step of the way, every time we learned something new. The fact that the press wasn't picking it up along the way, you know, I can't speak to why it wasn't headline newsworthy enough. But I would say the community in Hoboken is very aware of the shenanigans around this application. Given that the entire community came out against this, we had over 2,000 people sign a petition. We had hundreds of people at every single meeting just opposing it. I think one of the council members said, but the silent majority is who we have to defend here, the ones that don't feel comfortable showing up. I just think that was a farce, right? This was political from the very beginning, supporting Fulop's financial interest in it. And there's, to me and many people, there's no other explanation to it.
All right, so speaking of shenanigans, or perhaps lack thereof, as you recall, when the lawsuit dropped by that evening after I first reported the story, there was a memo from Matthew Boxer. We briefly spoke about this at the presser, but when he recommended some sort of criminal investigation, he gave it to the Public Integrity and Accountability Unit for the Attorney General's office. And apparently, it doesn't say this in the memo, subsequently referred to the FBI. And the mayor and his administration and others have said, well, I mean, look, the guy's clearly dirty. So your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we support any investigation on any questionable activities, so we fully support, this investigation happening. But I just don't think that necessarily negates all the allegations. I can't speak to all the allegations, but a couple of the allegations I can corroborate. I can corroborate that the meeting happened where they told directors not to talk to Jen Giattino and I. Mayor Zimmer corroborated another lesser allegation in it. And then once the Politico article came out, referencing this resolution for a $50,000 contract to Shank Price, you realize that there's some level of truth in this, irrespective of the fact if the person who's making the allegations is being questioned themselves.
All right, and real quick, I guess it's probably 2 weeks old, but it did come out till a few days ago that the city of Hoboken lost an Oprah case, and basically they had this appraisal about the police station, and they had it in draft format for a number of months, and the judge said, yeah, well, you're paraphrasing, of course, I don't know exactly what Jeff Jablonski said, but something to the effect of, you guys just did this so you wouldn't have to answer the Oprah, you have to give it to them, and then they paid attorney's fees, which was about $45,000. I think it was $517, but that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, this is an administration that has, when you run the city like a campaign, you're very focused on controlling the narrative every step of the way. So you want to make sure you know what information is being put out there. And this is an administration that has fought Oprahs left and right? We ran, there were several Oprahs around the McSwiggins Parklet that were submitted, that when John Allen was Associate Corporation Counsel, he did everything to delay and deny those because those were Oprahs to reveal what we knew was a conflict between his law firm, Shank Price, and his role with the city. So we have so many examples of how they do everything they can to delay. No one is surprised by the outcome of this. It's a shame because it costs taxpayers dollars.
Very good, Councilwoman, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere yet. We got one more segment. Be right back.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View, live and uncut, Chad Heinis. So just a couple more before I let you guys run for this week. So an interesting one, I wish I had more to tell you, but FBI agents paid a visit to 55th Street in West New York, and that was actually on Monday. And it looked like that was late morning into the early afternoon. I really don't have a heck of a lot to tell you besides that, unfortunately. If you clicked on the story, though, or you saw the social media post, you could see that clearly there are FBI agents there, one of them wearing a shirt that quite obviously says FBI. So I don't think there's any dispute that they were there, but what they were doing, I mean, we could talk about that for days, speculate, postulate, whatever. So eyewitnesses told me that upwards of 24 FBI agents were on the scene, at times going in and out of a 2-unit building at 5500 55th Street that used to host a variety deli on the ground floor. And some luggage bags and plastic Rubbermaid totes were seen being taken out of the building. Other than that, fortunately, don't have anything else to tell you at this point. Property owner could not be reached. The Variety Deli number was disconnected, or at least the prior Variety Deli number was disconnected. The FBI press office did not return my email. So keep our eye on that. Obviously, if this was about a decade ago, I'd probably have a lot more information, but this appears to be private sector business, not public sector. So let's see what unfolds there. Let's also chat a little bit about this education plan from Mayor Fulop, obviously a Democratic candidate for governor. There were a few things that came out of here. He talked about a 2% annual cap on college tuition hikes, expanding universal pre-K. He also mentioned that he'd like to end desegregation in schools at least as much as possible. And there was quite a few other things. He spent about an hour sitting down with reporters, and he had a few teachers, one professor, one college student, one mayor who actually is also a teacher. So there were quite a few things. Of note there, and this is his 5th white paper since he announced for governor in April of 2023. And let's see, he says quite a bit, but actually, let me tell you what I heard from Rowan University College Democrats President Aidan DeMarco. He said, college was really expensive. I got accepted into Rowan University. I was fortunate they offered me a grant that pays for half of my tuition every year. I don't know what I would do without the grant. So, you know, that's an interesting perspective of someone that's actually in school in New Jersey. And you know, this goes on, and you know, Rutgers, of course, my alma mater, which I love dearly. Tuition now is like $41,000 a year, which is just crazy. I mean, when I went there, which wasn't that long ago, it was like $16,000. Maybe it was the semester, but still, that's a different. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. With that said, Fulop also mentioned that when people are forced to live in a certain set of circumstances, the outcome ends up being more favorable. You're seeing a tuition increase exponentially. You want to get to a place where people know the state is a play in the affordability conversation. That's not the reality today. So other than that, not too much else that we have time for, but I will briefly mention that Jersey City's Exchange Place Alliance has named Deirdre Crockett as their new executive director. She used to be a former executive vice president and chief administrative officer of the Mac Cali Realty Corp. Interestingly, former Mac Cali CEO Mike DeMarco is the president of that board. And the former executive director, Elizabeth Cade, is now going to be serving in a consulting role, specifically as a marketing and programming director. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, we'll be coming at you twice after Memorial Day. We'll be here, Hudson Media Group, to do that congressional debate for the 8th District, U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez against Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala. That's 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And then the following day, we will have our show as regularly scheduled. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you then. Have a great holiday weekend.